So I'm Gordon from efixx.
I'm Gary from efixx. It came together from a point of view that 4 electricians thought that there was a gap in the market in order to service everyone in the electrical industry, from the apprentice to what in the early days was called the legend. And there was some video content that was missing to support them throughout their journey in the electrical industry.
Yeah, and it's a really exciting industry to be in at the moment because everything is going electric, which creates opportunities for electricians, for companies to introduce innovations and trying to spread that word to people was the aim, which we set the efixx channel up with.
I think it's changes. You don't know almost when you get up each week what's going to be new in our industry, and whether it be a tool that we saw today that was brand new to our industry, or an innovation within solar or battery storage, there is always something as simple as the other day we saw a light fitting with a built-in PIR, which was really clever, and you thought to yourself, why hasn't it happened before?
We like, obviously, electricians to be successful and more productive, and we feel by it's often tough to be an electrician. So a lot of people work in small businesses, they're not exposed to lots of new things, so they don't often get away from work. So hopefully we help support them through what can be a difficult job, and especially as everyone's always learning new technologies, that sort of inspires us. We like it when we see people doing CPDs or you say, oh, I really like that product you showed, that's really helped me out in my job. That gives us inspiration.
I haven't got a favourite one because Gordon takes them all, and often he will look at them on a Friday, even though they've come in earlier on in the week, and then sends me a little video clip of him actually using the tool, don't you?
Yes, big cables. So anything that crimps big cables, I like the dialless crimping tools. I think were particularly good for us. I mean, we made a video that went viral on one of those, and who would have thought a video for a crimp tool can go viral? Yeah, that was good. So I love tools, and yeah, playing with new tools, and then even the micro crimper as well. Yeah, they're all. Well, it's interesting. So a lot of time we put videos out there about tools, and everyone says, oh no, but we could do this by hand with these old tools. But as you get a little bit older and you get some what we call snow on the thatch, you start to see people who they might suffer from joint pain, or that they're at the end of their career and they're in real pain because they didn't have tools that help them. You know, yeah, you don't have to do these manly jobs. Actually, something that reduces strain on hands and joints and things can make people's life a lot easier in the long term.
Nobody walks to work or pulls their horse out from some field and jump on it to get to work, but there is a crossover on tools where they believe, don't they, that doing it by hand sometimes means you're a proper electrician, we sometimes hear as well. It's the greatest opportunity anyone can give you. First of all, if you get fortunate enough to be paid to train, okay, that's a wonderful place, whatever that is. If you then take the electrical industry as your trade and you get paid to obviously learn those skills over a 4-year program, and how exciting we alluded to earlier it is, and the opportunity is both personally to grow within our industry and be very financially successful. I think it's something that young people should strongly consider, especially those people that may have wanted to stay on for further education. You could leave school, do a 4-year apprenticeship, be paid, and then be incredibly more successful than somebody who's got a degree, who's maybe a pharmacist.
Always advice I was given a long time ago was to choose a route that opens new doors to opportunity. So technology and changes technology always open doors. So I always look to be at the front of where technology change is happening, because that's where there's a skills gap, and if you can get those skills before anybody else, you're automatically more employable and probably making more money than people. It always comes down to money most of the time, but it can be exciting, and there's lots of changes in this industry. We see the first people who got into EV charging, the first people who got into solar, into battery, all these technologies coming together. There's a lot of learning that possibly the older electricians aren't following that route.
lots of key points along the way, but I managed to be somebody who wasn't incredibly academic, but really tried hard, and I tried hard at school, at college. But then when I got a job in teaching, I had to do a teaching qualification, which is effectively similar to a degree, and you got to dress up as if you'd got a degree with the appropriate gown and hat, and I had a photograph with a scroll, and I got to take my wife and my son on that day, and to stand there with other members of my family was an incredible moment that guy who left school managed to get to that point. You know, many highlights along the way as well.
And he's still a lunatic.
Yeah.
For me, I used to make lights and install them all over the world. So one of my proudest was I worked on the Burj Al Arab in Dubai, which is the sail-shaped hotel everybody sees. When I went there, it was still in the middle of the desert. So that was a great moment to win that contract and supply that contract. And something I can probably never repeat. Worked in lots of industries and you drive past and the family hate me for it. It's like, oh, there's a light on that building that either we installed or we fitted or we designed. But there's probably most towns or places in the world I can find a light that I've somehow had a hand in putting there. Secrets.
So we've got out to considering more FE colleges than we could post COVID. And obviously we're trying to expand everything we do. So we provide CPDs. We didn't go live in the beginning, did we? And we added live streams fortnightly to our actual content that we produce. Along with the news, we do a weekly regular news. So from my point of view, it's what will come through the door next time and be the next thing that we do and add it to the suite of stuff that we already do.
Social media is a trend. There's always trends that change and we try to follow those trends and we learn from what other people do. It's an exciting time. Lots in renewables coming, lots in battery storage. No, it's great. I mean, we've been fascinating to see how our product comes to life. Actually, to see it being made in quite an efficient way was pretty good. So keep innovating. That's what we like to see. So perhaps a few products just for the UK market. We have some quirky ways of doing things that could probably do with some productivity improvements.
Yeah. And I think the tool that we're going to see next, obviously the stripping tool, as that gets to do larger cables, I think that'll be an incredible move forward as well. We're equally excited on what's coming next from you lot.
The gloves. So check out the link to get the Klauke ones in the description, but those gloves are really useful.
Yeah, we'll go with gloves. Check them out, link in the description.